Is it time to smash it with Sabro? Here is another beer from Beer52 using the Sabro hop. Let's get ready to rock. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this Smash Sabro Hopped Session IPA. It is from the Dogma Brewery, which are based in Belgrade, of all places. This is one of the sort of extra ones, one of the two extra ones that we had this month. It's using Sabro, which is a really sort of, it's one of the most popular hops, I think, around at the moment. It has that, usually the characteristics of it is that it has a little bit of, it's obviously tropical, but then it has a little bit of the sort of creamy mintiness and a little bit of lime in there as well, and that really makes it really interesting. It is got that sort of pina colada almost sort of flavour. Coconut, that's the other sort of big flavour that it has. So I'm looking forward to this one because I really enjoy Sabro. The Malt Garden we had was a really great example, but this one from Belgrade from Dogma Brewery. Let's get it out of the can and into a glass and see what it's like. This is from Beer52. And yeah, I mean, pouring it into the glass there, probably a little bit lighter and clearer than I thought. I mean, it's hazy, but I wouldn't say it was that sort of murky. It's fairly light looking. Looks like a pale ale. It's a session IPA. Yeah, so I would say I'm probably a little bit disappointed with that because it just, you've got that carbonation. It just looks a little bit watery almost. But let's get some aroma, shall we? Yeah, I mean, it's quite subtle. I mean, you get a very slight tropical sort of and citrusy. There is something there that's trying to get out, but the aromas are quite weak. I'm going to go in anyway. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, now that definitely tastes like a beer with Sabro. You get that sort of that tropicalness, but the coconut is quite big in the flavour there, and you're getting that sort of coconut and lime. That's the other flavour. It's quite thin though. The actual body's quite thin, and there's a little bit of element in there of sort of, I suppose, a little bit of bitterness in there. There's no doubting that this is using Sabro, but I don't think it works on its own. I think it single hop. Yeah, I think it is single hop. It hasn't got anything else in it apart Sabro. Yeah, single malt and single hop. I think the thing is with Sabro, it needs a citra, it needs a mosaic, it needs something to go with it really to give it a little bit more robustness and body. Yeah, I mean you can taste the flavour there, but it's very sort of watery. I think it's a session IPA. Comes in at what's the alcohol on this? 4.7%. So yeah, I mean you can get some sessionable stuff that's lower than that, but 4.7%. It just tastes a little bit thin and a bit watery, and that's a shame really because and as you can see you get some lacing of the glass there, but it's it's a bit thin. There's not much of a head. The body's very, very light, and it tastes more like a pale ale using Sabro. Yep, not overly impressed with that, but I think I've got enough flavours there and aromas to get a score. So let's get some scores for this, shall we? Okay, the scores are in for Dogma Brewery's Smash Sabro Session IPA. And this is from the Beer52 box for the Hop Explorers themed box for August. I'm a little bit disappointed with this. First things first, aroma. Sabro has usually, when we've had it with other beers, it's really, really lovely aroma. You get that coconut, the lime, the tropical bit. But it just is lacking. It's just that there was a very slight hint of coconut in there, but it was quite, it didn't have a good overpowering of flavour, of aromas there as well. So I'm giving it just a 10 out of 20 for aroma. Appearance, for an IPA, I think that's pretty light, and it's certainly pretty sort of thin in terms of no real head in there. A little bit of lace in the glass, but it's a bit, you know, a lot of these Beer52 beers have been like that. They're a little bit sort of a bit lacking in body. So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 for appearance. Flavour, the most important. I am a huge fan of Sabro, but I just don't think it works well on its own. It needs some other hops there just to give it a bit more. It isn't that overly powering, real tropical sort of flavour fest, really. Yes, there's the coconut, which you get with a Sabro. There's a little bit of the lime, but it's all a bit weak and willy, really. It doesn't really have the flavour. The mouthfeel's not great. It's very thin. It's a little bit fizzy. It's a bit watery tasting. So I'm only giving it a 28 out of 40 for flavour. Value for money. Well, we get these cans. They're free 30ml cans. Works out at £3. I don't think that's great value for money. It's 7 out of 10 for me. So for value for money. And then overall experience, I'm giving it just a 10 out of 20. I wouldn't want to drink this again. I'm now getting to the point where if I see I'll be interested to see if I have another beer which is a Sabro, where it fits with other hops. If it's on its own, I may sort of stay clear. But my overall experience is only a 10 out of 20. So we top those scores up and we get, not the worst score, but we get 62 out of 100. So pretty much a Bon Jovi of beers, really. A couple more points less than that and it would have been not recommended. Some people may like it, not for me. Doesn't do enough for me. So that's this beer, the one Beer52. Let's hope the next one gets better. Till the next one, keep on rocking.